Hey everybody, how's it going? Brett Mix here from Macho Wrestling 101, and today we're back with another Royal Rumble review. We're doing the Rumble reviews in chronological order, so today it's the 2014 Royal Rumble from Pittsburgh, PA. We'll get to that in a second. First, I'd just like to say if you would want to hit like or subscribe, I'd greatly appreciate it. This is a brand new wrestling channel. I don't have the fancy equipment, but that will come with time. I do have tons of wrestling knowledge for 3 decades in this business, and if you hit subscribe, you won't regret it. I promise you that. We just show videos every day, and we have fun at this place. So, Brett Mix here. You'll get to learn my personality over time. Again, I'm new with this, but I think in time you'll get to like my personality and appreciate my wrestling knowledge, as I'm sure you got to be a big wrestling fan to watch this. So hit that subscribe button and we'll have some fun together. I think this could be a big channel if I get the support and I show the knowledge I do have. So enough of that stuff, back to the Royal Rumble. Daniel Bryan and Bray Wyatt opened the 2014 Royal Rumble, and a lot of fans thought this would be a great match, and they were absolutely right. The opener in the last few years started off with world title matches, but this one was just a singles match. Bray and Daniel Bryan had a great backstory leading in with the months of the Wyatt family trying to get to Bryan, and then Bryan saying no, as he was a part of the no movement at the time. Even though the yes movement was just starting to work, just starting to bring in. But the story coming into the match was really good. But would the match tell a different story, and would the match tell an even better story? And I think it did. They put the climax in the middle, and anytime you put a climax in the middle of a match is just going by default to look better than it was. But this match was great all the way throughout. It started with Daniel Bryan working on Bray's knee. He had a sore knee, and Daniel Bryan, all of his offense was over. Anytime Bryan hit a move, you get a big yeah from the crowd. But he implemented his crisp offense to that knee, so he is very strategic and very innovative by D.Bryan, his nickname is. And you can just see how great of a wrestler he is just from that alone. I'm going to give this match more of a thorough review than the other matches just because it deserves it. The crowd chanted, "This is awesome," pretty much the whole time. And that chant, "This is awesome," is pretty redundant. But if any match deserved it, this one did for sure. This was a great opener. This might be the best opener since Royal Rumble and Double J from the 95 Rumble, or the Orient Express versus the Rockers from the 91 Rumble. I might be missing one or two, but those two stand out with this one. Bray got in offense because Bray got offense in, I should say, midway through the match because Daniel Bryan worked on his knee the entire time. But there's a spot where Daniel Bryan missed a charge into the buckle and he landed legs first. So Bray got in control and Bray had him on the apron. Bray was going to suplex Bryan from inside the ring to the floor, and Bryan was going to suplex Bray from the apron and back into the ring. So you can picture it. They're both on the sides of the ropes. And what ended up happening is Daniel Bryan, with Bray's momentum, came to the over the top rope to the apron. So they're both standing next to each other on the apron. And Bray Wyatt takes Daniel Bryan's arm, spins him around for an arm breaker, and rams it into the apron while he goes to the ground. So Daniel Bryan's arm is now vulnerable, and Bray Wyatt just went to work on that arm right afterwards. And the crowd got sucked in now. Like they were standing the entire time. Now they're sitting down and we're watching a methodical pace by Bray Wyatt as he's wearing down Daniel Bryan's arm, trying to take away the yes lock by doing that, a future yes lock by doing that, and because that's the spot he was working on because of the arm bar to the apron, which is just perfect. Every single time Daniel Bryan came back, Bray had an answer for him usually, but they stayed on that leg and they stayed on that arm. Wyatt would even work on the neck, and eventually Bryan got out of it and would hit some Hurricane Ranas, one from the very top turnbuckle. A lot of big spots. Bryan had Wyatt in the corner, and Bryan charged towards Wyatt, and Wyatt would just charge towards Bryan, and there'd be like a mid-air crash in the very middle because Bray would come out of nowhere. if I mistake the names Bray and Bryan, I'm saying Bryan and Bray. You can excuse me. It's a little bit confusing when one guy's name's Daniel Bryan, the next guy's name is Bray Wyatt. A little bit of a tongue twister. Bryan was mega over as the Yes kicks gained momentum and the Yes movement was in full effect. Bryan countered his sister Abigail into a backslide pinning attempt, but they got a no. More This Is Awesome chance. Commentary can't believe how it's still going after that. Uh, Bryan tried a suicide dive in midair, but Bray ended up catching him with a sister Abigail to the floor. And I'm not even mentioning some of the sequences here at the climax, but I should just move on because Bray ended up beating Bryan in 20 minutes, and this match was just a classic. I rate it 4 stars. It's one of the 500-ish matches I have around the 4-star category. I have a long list that I might do a countdown one day. I'm constantly updating the list, so I can't do it here, but or do it right now, but it's up there. And then if you're a subscriber or if you watch these videos, you'll learn to see some of the lists that I have. So I'm not neglecting anyone from that. So yeah, 4-star opener for sure here. This was just a great match between D.Bryan and Bray Wyatt. I should mention in the pre-show, the New Age Outlaws defeated Cody Rhodes and Goldust for the tag team titles at 6:58. I didn't mention that, so I thought I would there. No rating because I didn't see the match. After this, Brock Lesnar defeated The Big Show in a singles match. This is the second time Lesnar faced The Big Show at a Royal Rumble. They did 11 years before this. Only they got just 2 minutes this time. This was shortened to the point. It just a star rating. Nothing more than that to see here. Orton defended the WWE title against John Cena. At this Rumble, these two men have faced a number of times, too many to count. And the match here, it was it was all right. I wouldn't put it as a classic, but I wouldn't call it bad. I'll give it 3 stars. Cena and Orton were longtime grizzled veterans in the ring at this point. They knew how to work a match. They knew how to work the crowd. They knew the difference between a pay-per-view style match and an in-ring match. I don't go as high as some people go with this one. I give it, as I said, 3 stars. Orton retained the title at 20:54, so they gave this match about a minute and a half less than the Bray and D.Bryan opener. So that's that for that match. And now we get into the good one, the Rumble match, the main event. CM Punk, which is CM Punk's last match ever in the WWE, I believe. He started the Rumble match with Seth Rollins. It's notable that both Punk and Rollins spent over 48 minutes each in this match. Punk spent 49 minutes and 12 seconds. Seth Rollins spent 48 minutes and 37 seconds. Both men had 3 eliminations each in this match, and they both started the match. The only other person with 3 eliminations, the only other person with 3 eliminations in this match was their other Shield member, and Dean Ambrose. There was one other guy who had more than 3, other than the leader, and that's Batista, who had 4. But the leader was Roman Reigns with 12, which is a record. Kane's 11 from 2001 is broken by Roman's 12 here in 2014. Batista won the Royal Rumble match in the end at 55:08 to a chorus of boos as he threw out Roman Reigns, who, as I said, broke the record for the elimination. The crowd got behind Roman Reigns because he wasn't a nobody, but he was just the leader of a mid-card faction at the time. The Shield wasn't the Shield wasn't the most important thing in January 14. Maybe by January 15, but by 14, not quite. They didn't have that Shield versus Wyatt match that put both of them over at Elimination Chamber. That was a classic. But the crowd was cheering for Roman because they didn't want just the typical Batista win. But boy, did the crowd boo at number 30. I'm going backwards here with the review of this match, but just because I don't want to miss anything. They boo the hell out of Rey Mysterio for being the number 30 entrant. But I've said in other Rumble reviews, that's what you do when you give the fans a surprise entrance, number 30 surprise entrance. They're going to expect it every year. So when a regular star comes out at number 30, they're going to feel disappointed or slighted. So Mysterio got booed, and when he got eliminated, they cheered. Uh, Poor Ray. But nonetheless, that's what happened there. So back to the beginning of the Rumble, Punk and Rollins started it out. Damian Sandow came out at number 3. Cody Rhodes at number 4. The second straight year Cody Rhodes would come out in the first 5. Kane came out at 5. Rusev at 6th. Rusev had a debut Royal Rumble. His debut in the Royal Rumble. He was from NXT at the time. It took Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Kofi Kingston, and Seth Rollins to eliminate him, and he got 7:06 into the Rumble. That was his timing. Swagger came out, then Kofi, and Kofi had his spots of trying to get back to the ring. The year before, he used the chair as a pogo stick. The year before that, he jumped onto the steps from the barricade. This year, he walked all the way across the barricade, and he did a single jump onto the apron. Whew. And he stayed in the ring. That was an that might have been the best ones yet, but by Kofi. Jimmy Uso came out, then Goldust. Goldust got a big pop. Dean Ambrose of the Shield came out, then Ziggler, then R-Truth, then Kevin Nash as a surprise entrant coming out to his NWO music. Nash would be eliminated by Roman Reigns not too long after coming in, as Roman Reigns was the next entrant. The Great Khali came in after him. Sheamus then entered at 17, then The Miz, then Fandango, then El Torito, then Cesaro, then Harper, then Jey Uso. JBL came out from the commentary table, and the fans gave him a big pop, but then he was eliminated right away by Roman Reigns. I think WWE was hoping that would be a cheered spot when he got eliminated, but it ended up being a boo spot as the crowd loved JBL. Yeah, he got the King elimination from 1997 where Bret Hart punched him over the top rope. That's pretty much what happened here. So after JBL, Eric Rowan came out to no reaction. Ryback got a bit of a pop. Alberto Del Rio got a bit of a pop. Then Batista got a big pop. Not a huge one, but a big one. Then Big E and Rey Mysterio, like I said, boos to both entrants because they wanted the Daniel Bryan to be in the Rumble. And since he wasn't in the Rumble, the fans decided to shit on the rest of the Rumble when it came down to the final last few. Even when it was just Batista and Roman Reigns, the crowd just booed, especially when Batista won. They didn't want the formulaic comeback Batista to win over Daniel Bryan, who didn't even get placed in the Rumble match. The WWE sort of doubled down on this Daniel Bryan not winning the Rumble next year at the 2015 Rumble, but this was the start of it. And some people get the 14 and 2015 Rumbles mixed up because of the whole Daniel Bryan incident. Anyway, there was too much good in the show to look back at the boos at the end. I rate the show 7.5 out of 10, and I give the Rumble match 3.5 stars. So that's the 2014 Royal Rumble. If you enjoy these videos, again, hit like and subscribe. You won't regret it. We dish out videos every day. This is Macho Man Wrestling 101. I'm Brett Mix, and we'll see you at the 2015 Royal Rumble. Hopefully. Take care.